Welcome to today's webinar, to our joint online seminar of DAAD Information Center Taipei and RWTH International Academy. Today's information session will be joined by two experts from Germany who are also going to turn on their video camera now. I'm very pleased to welcome Elizabeth Samson. She's the study course coordinator at RWTH Aachen. Hello, Elizabeth. And Mr. Xiaoan is currently a master's student from Taiwan at RWTH Aachen, and he's studying production system engineering. So these two persons are going to introduce us to the program of International Academy of RWTH Aachen.
Well, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity today to present our master programs, and thank you very much to Xiaoan for joining us today. He is one of our senior students, and he will be telling you a little bit about his own perspective and his own experiences here. And finally, also thank you to the participants for joining us today. My name is Elizabeth. I'm a study course coordinator, and students come to me with their things that are bothering them or they need help. Xiaoan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Xiaoan. So I'm studying a master's degree, and I'm studying production system engineering, and this is my second year of study, and I'm planning to finish this year.
So I think the internet went a bit while you were speaking, but just to finish, I think what you were saying, you're studying production systems engineering, and I'll show you all what that means in a couple of minutes. So this is the agenda of our presentation that we're going to be going through today. First of all, we'll have a look at living in Germany. So you saw some very nice visuals and what it's like being in Germany. So here are some pictures of Aachen, which is one of the most western points in the country of Germany. And you might be asking, why choose Germany of all the different countries? You saw that there was the United States, there was England, and there was Australia as other top countries. So why choose Germany? And it's one of the third most popular destinations for international students. It's the land of innovation and creativity. So there is a lot of technological innovation that happens here, and as well as a space for lots of creative minds. The universities here have an excellent reputation. You saw that with the TU9 universities that Mr. Goldberger told us about just now. Your German degrees here are highly respected worldwide too. So that means that your degree that you finish from the RWTH Aachen, or the qualification that you receive, is something that you can use in every country around the world. And it is one of the leading countries in research. So if you're interested in continuing your master's and going into becoming a doctoral fellow, then this is also a great start for the next step of your academic career. And then if you're interested in Germany and you want to find out more about different cities, why choose Aachen? Well, Aachen is a vibrant student city. So we have, from around 260,000 students, inhabitants, we have about 60,000 students, which means there is roughly 1/5. So you see a lot of young people walking around. It's in the heart of Europe, so you have countries like Belgium right next door, you have countries like the Netherlands and Luxembourg also right next door. Paris, France is not too far away, and so if you enjoy traveling and getting around, then it's a great place to start. It also has a very rich cultural history with Charlemagne, or Karl der Große. It's part of the ABC Science region, which is the Aachen-Bonn-Cologne Science region. And as I mentioned, it's close to European capitals. So So I have a question to Xiaoen. What traveling have you done around Europe?
So I have been to almost every
traveling?
country near Germany, and then I also have been to England and Denmark. Yeah, and I'm planning to go to Poland at the end of this year.
That's great. I'm happy to hear that you've been taking advantage of the close proximity to the other European countries here. And you can use trains and flights to get around very easily. Then looking a little bit more at the University of the Rheinisch-Westfälische Technische Hochschule, or RWTH. It's a university of excellence, so that means it's part of the TU9, one of the so-called Ivy League, or the German version of the Ivy League universities, with a very, very big focus on engineering and natural sciences. You can see that in our circle on the left, we have engineering at 57% of the degrees here, natural science 23%, and then medicine, dentistry, humanities, social sciences, and economics make up 20%. And that is for an amount of 47,000 students who come to the university. And it was established roughly 150 years ago, so it's also been there for a while. Looking at our blue block at the right there, we have 9 faculties, we have different affiliated institutes, professorships, PhD candidates, collaborative research centers, research training programs. So basically all of that there, you can see just the depth and the breadth of all the research opportunities that you can get into once you are studying here and enrolled as a student of RWTH. Looking more into the research, it is one of the most, it receives the most third-party research funds. So that was up to 422.3 million euros in 2019. So there's a lot of money that gets put into the research, into the laboratories here, into the different type of the infrastructure that the institutes have, so that they can come up with the research that, that is actually produced here. But if you are not so interested in research, the university also has very strong links to companies and associations and to NGOs. So if you are looking to start a career in a different path, or not in a different path, but rather step away from the university, there are also very strong links for you to get there. And then finally, my last point there about Campus Melaten. This is one part of the spread campus that is RWTH Aachen. That's actually currently where our offices are. We're sitting in roughly the middle of that picture. And around us are different research institutes. So we have the Fraunhofer Institute, the Leibniz Institute, institutes for electric mobility, and for energy research. Looking at the International Academy, who we are the official academy for further education of the university. We offer personal career and administrative support. We have 8 master's programs taught in English. This is the master office part of the International Academy. I represent the master degrees today. And we have a 95% international student rate with a very strong student and alumni connection. So once you have finished, we always ask our students if they would like to stay on our alumni list and if they would like to keep in contact with us. And for those of you who want to start your job right afterwards, there is an employability rate of 90% of our alumni after they finish their graduation and within 6 months. And at this point, I'd like to ask Xiaoen if you have any idea what you will do with your degree in production systems engineering. Do you know what career you will be doing, Xiaoen Su?
Yeah. So basically, I'm planning to go back to Taiwan for my future career, but if there is a good opportunity here in Germany, so I will also planning to stay here, and I will try to apply for some jobs here before I graduate. So, but I will go back to Taiwan after all.
Okay. So these are a look at our master's degree programs. We have four which are based solely in mechanical engineering. We have two which are based in mechanical engineering and management. And we have another which is based in civil engineering and management. And depending on which option you're interested in, you could have the management part to your studies, or you can have it completely focused on engineering. So one of our biggest and most loved, or two of our biggest courses are robotic systems engineering. So the name says it all in that case. It's about robotics, and it's about planning and designing and implementing robotics in an industrial environment. And then we have networked production engineering, which is the newer version of production systems engineering, which Xiaoen is currently studying. And then another one of our one of our most popular degrees is computer-aided conception and production in mechanical engineering. So that is using computer programming in an industrial and production setting. Moving on to the key facts about the master programs. So you will be getting a Master of Science qualification when you finish your degree here, and this comes with accreditation by, as you can see there, ASIINEB, which means that with this Master of Science degree you can apply for a job around the world. So it gives you a lot of flexibility and mobility if you are interested in working in different countries. All of our programs are English taught, which means that you do not need any German to start them. Our duration for the programs is 120 ECTS, which is credit points, and that amounts to 2 years or 4 semesters. This is the regular study period. Some students take a couple semesters more. And then the tuition fees are 22,000 euros for the full program, and that can then be divided by the 4 semesters if you are, if you want to look at it differently. And we have an intake in winter semester every year, so the start is in October. Unfortunately, we don't have a summer intake. But I have a question again for Xiaoen, and this was more in relation to my previous slide. I saw that you did a voluntary internship. Can you tell us more about it?
Sorry, can you repeat the questions again?
You completed a voluntary internship here. Can you tell us more about that?
No, actually I didn't have the voluntary internship. But I'm planning to looking for one before I graduate.
Okay, so that's maybe a point that we can tell the participants, is that some programs have internships which are included in their curriculum and some don't. And so for your curriculum currently, there is no necessary
for me, I didn't have the compulsory internship program in my study, but I have.
Okay. And the next program that I'd like to tell you about, and this is the final and 8th master's program that we offer, is a Master of Public Administration, and that's in the Humanities. So it's an MPA which you receive as your final degree, Again, the accreditation is also through ASIAINEV, which again means that you can work globally with this qualification. Also, it is an English taught program, so you do not need German to study here. The duration is 1.5 years or 3 semesters, and you will need to accumulate 90 credit points. The tuition fees are then a little bit lower than the other programs. They're 16,000 euros. Again, it also starts in October. So then let's move on to our application requirements. Shaun, is there something that we can maybe add, or is there some sort of comment that you would like to let the participants know? Now having looked at the master's program,
quite interesting.
For example, what the favorite part of your course was
for you? In bachelor's degrees at Taiwan, it's not like the normal master's degree in Taiwan. So we have lots of classes here, and then every class is interesting. So and we also can choose there's lots of courses from others than compulsory credits. We have a lot of choices from other classes.
Well, thank you for your opinion there. I'm glad to hear you find them interesting. And I think that's also nice to know for the participants, is that there are lots of choices that you can make between the different courses, you know, the ones that you can add to your curriculum to make your specialization. Then moving on to the application requirements, you need a minimum of 12 months work experience and the GRE, Graduate Record Examination, with the following minimum scores. You can see them listed there: 145 for verbal reasoning, 160 for quantitative reasoning, and 3.0 for the final part of the test. And with those scores, you will need to then apply. So those are the two very, very important parts for the application. Those are something that if we do not see them, then we unfortunately cannot grant admission to the university or to the program. We have added our web link there, which you can write down and research the other details which are necessary for your application. In terms of the deadline, the application portal opens on the 2nd of December, so you have roughly 3 months to get everything ready. And the deadline is on the 1st of March next year. And this is for intake in 2022. So you have time until the 1st of March to hand in all of the documents. And if you complete your application by the 15th of January, then you will get a 10% discount on your tuition fees. Now I hope that it hasn't seen that I've clicked to the next slide, so excuse me. There we go. So having a look at the fees and expenses. You have to budget this a bit. You have to plan your studies obviously in advance. And I know that can be difficult because you're dealing with different currencies and you're dealing with different rates of paying, for example, and things that you need to pay at all. So we'll go through the different types of expenses that you have. We have the tuition fees for our two different types of programs, the 22,000 for the engineering programs and then the 16,000 for the humanities program. Then there is also a 300 euro semester fee. That goes straight to that is not something that gets paid to us, but that is rather an administrative fee and a social contribution fee which goes to the Central Public University. And with that you get a ticket that you can ride around on buses and trains in this province. And your living expenses amount to approximately 910 euros per month. That obviously changes depending on how you live. We've put a little box there together. Your rent we set at 400 euros. That can obviously be more expensive or less expensive. You have your internet fees or your radio fees, which need to be paid. That's 18 euros. And you can see the different lists that we've put together. But roughly, we would say 910 euros is what you need to budget for, just so that you can, you know, go to bed at night knowing that you've got your costs covered.
I also spend less than 1,000 euros per month.
How did you plan your finances?
And basically, this slide includes all the money we need to spend monthly. So if you don't go travel every month, and this money is enough for you to stay here in Aachen. And I think everything here is like not very expensive. I think it is just as the same as Taipei. So I think this with 900 or 1,000 euros per month is enough for you.
Okay. Yes, I think that's good advice, and it's nice to hear that you also, yeah, like I said, you did some traveling, because it's also a very good opportunity to see the rest of the country or the rest of the continent of Europe, and so it's nice to have a little bit budgeted so that you can, you know, go out maybe once a month or something. And then what is also quite important here is your health insurance. That is necessary to actually enroll at the university. You have to have your health insurance. And then we also really recommend that students have the third-party liability insurance. So then what are other ways to fund your studies here? We have put together a small list of how to find scholarships. Right at the top we have DAAD, so this is obviously where we're on the portal of DAAD, and they have a really, really big database where you can filter the different types of scholarships according to your own academic profile or your national profile, and you can then find different scholarships that you can apply for. But we really recommend that you start the search as soon as possible. Underneath that we have the RWTH database, which is from the Central University here in Aachen. And again, it's the same. You can filter according to your academic profile. Are you bachelor? Are you doing your master's? And you can then see what suits your profile. Then we have two listed underneath that, which are scholarships that we offer as the International Academy, and this is the Women in Engineering Scholarship and the High Potential Student Grant. So with those, you are able to get from 25 to 100% of your study fees covered. We've added there our website address so that you can go and Google what is available in terms of the scholarships. We also do have scholarships which we offer to students who are enrolled. So we have the Best of Class Scholarship, and then we also have the German Language Merit Scholarship. So if you are taking part in a German course to a higher level because you want to improve your German, then we also try and assist students there. Or if you are involved in many different things or you're getting very good notes, then we want to assist students there too. So then coming to the next part of our slide about our student support services, I will briefly look at the Career Center which we have, and this offers services including CV checks, individual coaching, networking events, excursions, webinars, workshops, and an online job portal. So this is one step in the right direction when you want to have something exclusive that not everybody has access to. So this is done, for example, our online job portal is done exclusively with other companies in our network, and you have, the better chance of getting in contact with them through the portal than you might through another big portal like LinkedIn, for example. We've added the website address there so that you can see what we have on offer. And then looking at housing, which we offer, we have in the two different pictures there, we have flat shares at the bottom, and those are for sizes between 3 and 5 people if you want to live with other students. Or we offer micro apartments, and that's in the picture above. Those are very new. I think the first people moved in last month, so it's a very new building. It's very central to campus, and you have your own kitchenette, you have a bathroom too. And we also have, and that's part of the Elisabethstraße. We also have boarding rooms there. So if you're arriving, if you need a place to stay for a couple of days or a week, you can either stay there for a longer period of time or just for a short time. We also offer housing scholarships. So if you feel that you are worthy of getting a housing scholarship, we offer that always in the end of April, and are very happy to help students that we are convinced are to be deserving of the scholarship. We are happy to give them a place in the Elisabethstraße, which is the picture above. And then we also offer consultation on accommodation. So again, I have a question to you,
Aachen is like
what your experience
not really
of
a
Aachen
big
is
city in Germany,
compared
but
to your home city.
here is
How do you
safe
find
compared to
Aachen?
other European country, and then it's quiet, and here is a nice place to study. Not really a good place to have a lot of entertainment, but I think here is a good place to study. If you want to travel, here is also a good spot that you can go to Netherlands or Belgium or even France in like 2 hours of train. So it is really convenient standing here in Aachen. And I also live in one of the accommodation at the below picture from the RWTH International Academy. So it is also a good place that when you are in Taiwan, you don't have a big chance to find a good accommodation in Taiwan. So you can living in this accommodation first, and then you can find another good places after you arrive in Germany.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a big question for students who come here, because it is such a big university and the town is not so big, so it can be difficult to find a place to stay. So that's why we wanted to help out students there and make more places for them to sleep at night, basically. And I agree, Aachen is a small and it's a fairly quiet town, but if you do want to go and find entertainment, you have bigger cities like Bonn or Cologne or Düsseldorf very close by, and there are lots of different types of entertainment there. You have your culture, you have your dance scene, you have different types of bookstores and readings. So it's all reach. You can all get there with your train ticket. All right, so I'm sharing our information or our contact details with you, which you can write down. I would like to hear from you if you have any questions.